Good morning, everybody. Welcome into Spirit of Life Alchemy. Today is the 6th of September 2023, and this is your morning message tarot reading. So, this is my second time of trying to video this. The first time I just made a bit of a balls up, but here we go again. So, astrology for today. The moon is in Gemini all day. It's going to form a square to Saturn in Pisces. It's going to form a trine to Mars in Libra. It's going to form a sextile to Venus in Leo. And then it's going to form a square first to Mercury and then to the Sun in Virgo. It's also the waxing half moon today. So we're going back into the dark half of the year, of the month. Oh my God. Mercury retrograde is getting to me. I've just had a magnesium salt bath as well, so I think sort of, my muscles are relaxed and I'm a bit over relaxed. So we're going back into the dark half of the month. We also have the Sun conjuncting Mercury, which is the equivalent to a new Mercury, a new moon, new Mercury type thing. So it's new ideas are being seeded. This usually happens about halfway through the Mercury retrograde. And you have the retrograde Mercury and the Sun moving forward. And round about the middle of the retrograde, they come together and the light of the Sun sort of sparks and new ideas, a renewal of Mercury, and a new inspiration is seeded. Even though we're still going to what was the 6th, we've still got another 8, 9, 10 days of Mercury going retrograde, where we think about this seeding and everything and the ideas that have come up today, and review them, recalibrate and things, and just see, could this possibly be the renewal to take forward? But we're not going to do anything about it yet. Okay. So the thoughts aren't going to become actions yet. We're more sitting with it and asking if we love the idea. Does it fire us up with passion and excitement? With Mercury having recently been in an opposition to Saturn, and the moon squaring Saturn, and then Mercury was really still pausing. There's no forward momentum yet. We're just sorting through the ideas and thinking about strategy. We're not racing out of the gates yet, even though the moon in Gemini is trining Mars in Libra. That inspiration, that passion could be there, mental passion and everything rising, but we're going to hold back and we're going to sit with it for a while. Okay. Maybe till we come out of the dark of the moon, of the new moon. Mercury stations direct on the 15th of September, the same day as the Virgo new moon. Okay. And it takes a few days before it starts getting going. So maybe by the time, a week later, when we're coming out of the dark of the moon, with the waxing moon, the waxing energies, that's more likely going to be the time to start taking the ideas forward. And it is an absolutely stonker of a new moon as well. It's really energetic. There's a lot going on. And so, you'll be wanting to get prepared for that. So anyway, back to today. Let's do some cards and see what the cards have to say for today. So let's see what we want. We want the Thoth deck today, I think. And I think I want the Gaia deck. Okay, so let's see, what do we need to know? Okay, what do we need to know for today? Wednesday the 6th of September 2023. Messages from Spirit, please, for the collective. What help, advice, support and guidance can Spirit give the collective to help us navigate today's energies for our highest and greatest good? What do we need to know? My muscles are beginning to ache less. I've been preparing the presentation for the astrological alchemy course this evening, and I was just really aching by the time I'd finished that. So I've just had a good long lay in the bath, in a magnesium flakes bath, catching up on YouTube videos and things, my favourite astrologers and things like that. So it's like, oh, new moon, let's have a look at the new moon energy. Also done a bit of Lee Harris's energy update for September. So it's like, things going on. And it's some was quite a bit was in tune with what I feel for September. So anyway, okay, so where we find ourselves, Sacred Heart on the bottom. Oh my God, my eyes! I think my eyes are tired. It's amazing when you're tired, exhausted, or got exhausted muscles and things like that, how it affects other parts of your body as well. I'm really noticing this fatigue and this aching muscles affecting my eyes this week. But I will be going back on Saturday for week 2 of aerial hoop. Okay, so Sacred Heart, passion, love, spiritual communion. We'll have a bit of that. And I do notice that eternal love is there as well underneath. Happiness, harmony and fulfillment. We'll have a little bit of that as well. Okay, then we've got intuitive communication, silent whispers of the heart. Okay, so there's a bit of a heart thing going on here. Sacred Heart, intuitive communication, and Gaia. Wisdom, knowledge, spiritual understanding. Okay, so I said about sort of the seeding of the new ideas, listening and tuning into the intuitive communication coming through as the sun conjuncts Mercury, the trine between the moon and Mars is firing up our passions, our love, our spiritual communication, combined with the sextile to Venus, who is now going direct. You know, that's a heart opening. What do we love in our life? Okay. And once we're listening in and we're open-hearted, then we need to ground the energy down into Gaia, into the 3D, into the earth. Seed the energy down into the earth. Plant the seeds for growth to come. Okay, and what I do love about this Gaia card is she's got one arm branch reaching up for the sky and the other one reaching down and going down into the earth, channeling that energy, which is what we do. Okay, let's have some tarot and see what the tarot has to say for today. So we've got the Thoth deck. Let's see, what do we need to know for today, Wednesday the 6th of September 2023. Messages from Spirit, please, for the collective. What help, advice, support and guidance can Spirit give the collective to help us navigate today's energies for our highest and greatest good? What do we need to know? I just feel we need another one. See, where are we? Oh, 7 of Cups, debauch. Okay, there's some stuff to sort out there, isn't there? Going into the past, we've got lust, which is strength in other decks. Beneath us, we've got the universe or the world, something's coming to completion. And above us, the message from Spirit is the Nine of Cups, happiness. And then we've got the Hierophant. Okay, so the clarifiers, we've got the Knight of Cups. The Knights in this deck are the Kings. We've got the Nine of Wands. Okay, we've got the Nine of Swords. And I will take the next one, the Six of Wands, because it wanted to come out with the Nine of Swords there. Okay, on the bottom we've got the Ten of Cups. Okay, we've got the Seven of Wands. He's been coming out a lot recently, hasn't he? There's definitely something going on about boundaries. We've got the Prince of Discs, or the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Three of Wands, Virtue. And then we've got Adjustment, the Justice card. In this deck it's called Adjustment. And we've got the Lovers, and we've got the Ace of Wands. And we've got the Four of Discs, Power, the Queen of Wands, and the Aeon, and oh my god, Ace of Discs, and the Fool. Okay, so once again today there's an awful lot going on in the subconscious. It's all going on out of sight, isn't it? Okay, let's just pop those back there. And I get a real big sense of, yeah, there's a lot going on in the background at the moment. And I've been saying this just recently about, you know, we're being asked to trust a lot that we can't see. And again, that's where that intuitive communication comes in. Trust, going into the heart, trust in the heart, grounding and connecting with Gaia, the divine feminine, being in the void with the divine feminine, waiting for all the pieces to sort themselves out and become visible. Okay, so where we find ourselves, we've got the Seven of Cups, Venus in Scorpio. In this deck, it's called Debauch, and it just makes me think of all those lower vibration emotions. It's an emotional quagmire. It's victim mentality and feeling sorry for yourself and throwing yourself, why me? Okay, so you may be coming in today in this position, feeling like nothing's working for you, dragging your feet through the emotional quagmire. Especially because Venus has just turned direct, okay, going retrograde. We're not quite seeing the forward momentum yet of Venus having come out of retrograde and now going forward. Okay, so, and she's in a shadow period until the 7th of October. So, you know, we may have seen over the last 6 weeks, we may have seen sort of the emotional quagmire. Now, as she starts going forward through her shadow degrees, we're being asked, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to carry on where you are? Okay, so what's going into the past? We've got Lust, the Strength card. I love that it's called Lust in this deck. It's just really like lust for life and passion and all those. It's what drives you, following your bliss, passion as power. So maybe you've lost this a little bit. I know with everything going on in the subconscious, it's quite easy to lose, you know, that lust for life and passion and things. But then we need to go back in and connect back into it, because we're bringing something to a close. This is our foundation. Something is closing out. And I think sort of between now and the new moon in Virgo is the closing out. Although also with that Sun Mercury conjunction today, there's new seeds, new possibilities, okay, that we'll be planting when Mercury goes direct. The message from Spirit here, we've got the Nine of Cups, which is Jupiter in Pisces, happiness. We're being asked to call it, go into our deepest desires. What makes us happy? Connect. What feeds us emotionally? That sacred heart, the passion, the love, the spiritual communion. Connecting into that, setting the intentions to move from this into this. And then we're moving into the Hierophant energy, which is about straddling between the spiritual and the physical realms. 1 foot in the 5D, in the spirit realm, 1 foot in the 3D, and channeling down that spiritual energy into the physical world, which is exactly what Gaia's doing here. Okay, so a little reminder that that's what we're doing. For me, it doesn't hold the traditional energies anymore. long since taken back my spiritual authority and rebelled against outer authority. So we're channeling down, bringing that through us. So the clarifiers, we've got the King of Cups, the Knight of Cups here, Cardinal Water. This is Cancer energy. And I love the crab in the chalice here. This is about going for your dreams. Okay, your Holy Grail, connected to this, following your bliss. What's your Holy Grail? What's your deepest desires? Maybe you're having to trudge through the emotional quagmire and dive deep to find your soul's deepest desires. Venus in Scorpio, you know, getting past the negative beliefs and the old stories and things like that to find the gold beneath that, to find the lust for life beneath that. Okay, so we're being encouraged. Okay, what feeds your soul? Then we've got we've got 3 nines out. What 9 haven't we got? The 9 that we haven't got is the 9 of Pentacles, the self-confidence, self-worth, independence, abundance. Okay, what we've got here is the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Wands is about, that's the Sun in Sagittarius. It's about balancing our internal energy with the out external energy, inner strength with the strength of the world around us. I'm sure if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know this, that's sort of how I see it. So if we're feeling weak, then it's easy for the world to overwhelm us and we get flattened. Okay, then also if we're over strong and trying to control things and forceful, then we charge through life like a bull in a china shop and flatten everything. The key is to be in flow, in intuitive communication with the world around us, going forward when the flow's open, and then retreating when we need to retreat, and just being very tuned into that. Okay, then we've got the 9 of Swords. So this is Mars in Gemini. It's cruelty. It's all the waking up in the middle of the night, anxiety, worry, and not knowing what to do, in panic. When we're disconnected from our inner sense of self and our inner power, then we get into this state. Now, interestingly, a card came out with it. I don't normally pick more than 3 cards for the clarifiers, but the 6 of Wands, Victory, wanted to come out with it. which is Jupiter in Leo. In the words of Gemstone Tarot, the Six of Wands is winner, winner, chicken dinner. So we have the fire in us, the energy within us, the power within us to overcome this. Okay, we can move this Seven of Cups to the Nine of Cups. Okay, find our soul's deepest desires. And interestingly, when we come to the subconscious and what's going on just out of sight, the first card we come to is the Ten of Cups, satiety, which is something in Pisces. I can't see. Oh, Mars in Pisces. Okay, so for me, the Ten of Cups is the living over the rainbow in the land of happy ever after, dreams coming true. That's what our deepest desire is. Okay, however that is for you. Okay, and we've all got our own idea of what living over the rainbow in the land of happy ever after means for us. Okay, because we've all got our own individual soul's deepest desire, but that is what we're looking to move towards, to achieve. Okay, and the story underneath is showing sort of in the moment today what we need to do to get there. So first of all, we've got the Seven of Wands, which is Mars in Leo. We need to have firm boundaries. Okay, but in this deck it's called Valor, and it's about sort of, you know, winning the battle, but there's still the war. You know, there's going to be more and more challenges. You're going to have to really secure your boundaries and everything, because, you know, people are repeatedly going to come at you. This Nine of Wands, being in tune with your environment. Okay, and slow down. The Prince of Discs, mutable earth, which is Virgo. So, you know, doing the planning, doing the organising, getting your routine sorted. This is putting all the foundations in place, first of all. Okay, securing our energy, firm boundaries, and, you know, we know when to say no and when to say yes, and what our boundaries are. Then our daily routines, our daily practices, our daily devotions, slowing down and making sure we've got time to do those, building up that as a practice. With that, we've got the Three of Wands, which is the Sun in Aries. It's called Virtue in here, and it's about sort of receiving the answers to our prayers. Okay, in the Two of Wands, looking out over the horizon, seeing the opportunities and the potentials and possibilities and things like that. Three is where we make our prayers and send them out into the world. We've got Adjustment, the Justice card. In this deck, it's about karmic readjustment. Okay, as we do this work, as we show up for ourselves, it helps us to work through and release karma, and brings us into more alignment and balance. With the Lovers next to it, balancing the divine masculine, the divine feminine within. Is there a choice you need to make? Are you are these energies your receptivity and assertiveness in balance, or are you out of balance? Are you too assertive and go through life like a bull in a china shop, taking action all the time, never stopping? Or do you easily get overwhelmed by the world around you, too passive? Okay, it's about that balance. Where we get it into balance, it ignites a spark within us, the divine gift of passion. Okay, there's a lot of passion in this reading. I think sort of with lust going into the past, it's like we're trying to find this again. Okay, we may have had it a long time ago and we've lost it. Society, rules, regulations, school, work, all the outside stuff has caused us to lose our connection with this deep passion, our true light, our soul's deepest desires. Okay, that spark of fire in life. So as we do this work, okay, then we're being offered the divine gift of fire, of passion. Okay, and as we receive it, we need, again, firm boundaries here. We've got the Four of Pentacles here, the Four of Discs, which is the Sun in Capricorn. Okay, and, you know, sort of, it's back really, you know, not only your big stick, you know, we've got a fort here with a moat, and the squareness of everything is just about having firm foundations, being deeply rooted, so we can build from there. With the Queen of Wands, the Queens for me are the fixed signs of the elements, the Leo energy, knowing your power, feeling your power, being centre stage, charismatic, shining your light out into the world, being centre stage, knowing you're worth it. And I'm seeing this as Venus going direct in Leo again. What have we learned over the last 6 weeks, and how are we taking back our power? Are we securing our boundaries? Are we following our bliss? Are we loving what we're doing going out into the world? Is that what we're going to be doing for the next month as Venus goes through the shadow period, going forward this time? Third pass through, making all the aspects again that she's made twice before, and putting in place the new, authentic, genuine parts of yourself. It's a new aeon. Okay, and while things are still slow and we've still got Mercury retrograding, you know, those seeds are planted today with the Sun-Mercury conjunction of new possibilities and things to go forward with. And then we've got the Ace of Discs, the Ace of Pentacles. The seed is planted. New opportunities, new openings in the 3D for us. And then we finish off with the Fool. So, you know, today the tide is turning. And we may not see it visibly for a time yet, but those seeds have been planted. Okay, so let's finally just do one of these. Art of the Sacred Wheel cards. Let me just get this one back for my personal reading. Pop that in there. Let's see, what do we need to know for today? What do we need to know for today? Wednesday the 6th of September 2023. Messages from Spirit, please, for the collective. What help, advice, support and guidance can Spirit give the collective to help us navigate today's energies? Can't even hold the cards. For our highest and greatest good. What do we need to know? Okay, so let's see, what do we need to know? There we go. Stillness speaks. Go into the quietude. Okay, number 9, is it? Let's have a look. Let's see. Let's put my glasses on so I can see. Okay, stillness speaks. Go into the quietude. Okay, I just love the artwork on these cards. Absolutely stunning. The creator Lisa Lockhead follows a very similar path to me, following the solar cycles, the lunar cycles, loves the void, and I met her recently at an event, was chatting to her, and did one of her workshops as well. So yeah, and I'm just loving her cards. She does have a website and things. I should actually put that in below, shouldn't I? All the cards I use and things like that. If anyone's interested, so write in the comments or send me a message or something. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see, where are we? Okay, so we're into the Lunar Mother Wheel, card 9. Okay, unpredictability hangs in the air as the moon calls you to mother. to mother that still point within you. So let's see, what have we got? You were called to recognise that you stand at the precipice of what you will next nurture into being in your life. That's what's in the subconscious at the moment. Okay. This is a natural transition phase, like the space in between fertility and menopause in a woman's life. Carve out space to reflect and immerse yourself in this moment of stillness. This has a value beyond what you can see and is necessary for unfolding new potentials. It is easy to jump in, be busy, run ahead to the next thing and try and fill the void of nothing. Yet here you are called to allow the pause and drop deeply into the quietude and rest. As you are poured into the stillness, reflect on the iced still lake or body of water that you find in the depths of winter. In winter, water turns to ice, becoming a different form. The iced lakes in nature speak a language as the changing, shifting form of water to ice cracks and creates patterns on the surface. So as you allow the stillness between transitional worlds within you, you too are being called to discern a new language. The moon calls you to listen to the changing perceptions as they speak to you. I was just reflecting on this in the bath before we came to do this reading. It's like noticing all the little changes. It's like, oh, I never used to do that. I never used to be like that. Oh yeah, God, I can see myself changing. I can see myself evolving. Ooh. So we do that in the stillness. Okay, allow the space for the potential of your current way of living and experience of life to go through a natural change from one form to another, from one way of being and moving in the world to another. You are called to allow the emerging blueprint of a new life to form in its direction to be brought to life. Be wise, face the sense of the unknown without needing to move away, allow it. Embrace it with all of who you are. The hand of fate is working in the background, in the unseen. Conserve your energy and resources. Rest, listen, allow. So the other thing I got about this when I was just reading that was about all the retrograde planets we've got at the moment. It's not it's not a time for racing out anywhere. It's a time for resting, listening and allowing. Okay, reflecting on how the first half of the year was going. Okay, are you going to make any changes? The planets start moving forward again from the middle of October. Okay, and then by the end of January, everything is going direct again, and we have a few months of all the planets going direct, and we can make progress before we start getting into the retrogrades again. When you consider that sort of the outer planets tend to be in retrograde for between sort of 5 to 6 months, half the year where we have these retrograde energies, and how they're falling at the moment is they seem to be all in the second half of the year. So we push forward with the growth in the first half of the year, and then in the second part of the year, where everything's coming back down to earth, the harvest and everything, and then the seeds dropping down, the leaves falling and everything like that. That's our time of inner work and reflection. Okay, tying in with what we're seeing as above, so below, and all of that. Okay, so the lunar wheel reflection. This moon represents the first full moon of the year and is called the wolf moon, and named after the wolves whose howling activity is said to increase in January and February. In some cultures it was known as the old moon, the ice moon, the snow moon, and in ancient Anglo-Saxon culture, the moon after Yule. So we've got winter season. With the first full moon of the winter season, it signals to move deeper into stillness, quietude and rest. The world has momentum that forces ideals to achieve for the start of the new year. Yet this time is not to push forward. In nature, all outer growth is at rest. In retrograde season, when you've got 7 planets retrograding, the outer world is at rest. It's all going on internally. Okay, just as the animals hibernate, storing their energy in reserves, it is the same for you. To take time to hibernate and allow dreaming space to tune with the dark nights and the short days. Okay, so ritual creativity. Create a ritual to give yourself guilt-free permission to honour and accept that you are allowed to deepen into rest. Claim it, voice it, welcome it. Well, that's what I'm doing myself. Filling my own cup up with the fatigue and everything. It's this time to rest, recuperate and take my energy back and see what direction, once that happens, I'm called in. Okay, and then we've got the reflection ritual. Where are you allowing the movement of the world and the pressure of achieving or going somewhere to keep you restless? I was just about to say, before I read that, the thought popped into mind about sort of what I'm doing and sort of how it goes against everything you've ever been taught in life about stopping and taking time out of yourself. And it's like, oh, money's going to run out, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen, or you have to do it now, you have to keep going. And yet my deeper knowing, my intuitive communication with myself is going, just stop, look after yourself, take your rest, okay, and just recalibrate everything. And it also feels this year, and especially since the spring, this whole year has had a feeling of being about release and letting go. Ready for new growth next year. That's the feeling I get. So, and if we don't stop and let go, we're still full up of old stuff, and then there's no room for the new things to come in. Okay, so we really need to surrender, and we need to let go, and we need to empty out, get rid of all that old you-know-what that we've been carrying about. Making space for the evolution and the ascension and the new passions and bliss waiting to come in. Okay, and be in the void, in bliss, not impatiently waiting, be in bliss. Have gratitude for the opportunity to be in this space. Even if you're in this space but you're still having to go out and do things in the world, having that conscious connection and taking the time to retreat when we can, or just being able to have part of you just connecting into that space and that quietude. I have a way with my brain that I can have lots of different reels going on at the same time and be aware of them. So, I can have one reel going out into the world, sorting things out, planning things, doing the forward, what appears to be the forward motion, and getting through the day. And then another part of mine, which is connected to the void, it's connected to the solitude, it's tuned in, it's silent and still and resting. And then there can be other parts of my brain that are involved in other things, general survival and things like that. But taking time each day to be in that solitude and that quietude, so the whispers can come up. Don't ask me how I do that. I discovered it about a decade ago when I was at university doing my masters. Sat in research classes, and I'd had all my diagnosis for neurodiversity and the plethora of conditions I've been diagnosed with. And the thing is, I can't sit and concentrate in class. And the only way I could say this goes, I learned this from my childhood, that the more I'm not paying attention, the more I take in and learn. It's almost like I have to soothe parts of my brain with doing other things and being distracted, so that sort of subconsciously the information goes in. And so when I sort of nailed it down, I could see myself doing this and having different reels going on. There was like a little bit of just one, one part open, and the lesson was going in about sort of, research procedure and sort of stages of research, all the stuff, preparing for doing my dissertation. But then I had these other reels going on, making notes about things over here, and then another pad I'm making notes of things over here. So that's just the way my brain works. So anyway, a bit of a ramble there at the end. God knows what the time is, can't even see from here, because the time of the video is against the white there, and so I never know, I can't really see how long I've been taking. So I'm going to stop there, because I could just keep talking. So that's your reading for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's resonated for you, either all of it, or there's parts that you feel really pertinent for you. Whatever you take from it is great. Please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. Help me grow this channel. If you'd like a personal reading from me, then please email me at the email address below the video in the descriptions box. Have a wonderful day, and until tomorrow, thank you for watching.